In this lesson, we're going to talk about passing data between pages. Just like in the previous lesson, when we made a selection from our list of job posts, we were able to display dynamic information in a group or a pop-up. We can do the same with entire pages. We can make a selection from a list, be taken to another page in the application, and have that other page remember our selection. So we're going to pass data or send data from one page to another. An example of this would be LinkedIn's profile pages, or anytime you have any kind of a user profile page on a social network site. LinkedIn has the profile page set up with a standard layout. You have the cover photo up here at the top, the main logo for the company, the name of the company, some details like the location, the number of followers, a description, a couple of action items to follow the company or visit their website, and then a lot of other things that come below it. So it doesn't matter which company profile you're looking at, the layout of this page is always going to be the same. The only thing that changes is the actual content. So LinkedIn is able to pull the data for this particular company record and fill in all of the elements here. The pictures, the text, the buttons will link to whatever relevant information, for example, the company website. So this is an example of a dynamic page. You set up the design to have some kind of a template layout, and then you fill all of the content with dynamic data. And normally whenever you arrive at this page, you will have sent some data to the page so the page knows what to display in all of the elements. So if I were to search here for a different company like Twitter, and I select that company, I can see that I am on the exact same type of page, but the content is completely different. It's now referencing a different company record to fill in the right logo, name, location, all of that. We can also see that the URL has changed too. When I'm on the page for the Twitter record, I'm still on the company page of LinkedIn's website, so linkedin.com/company, but right after that, I have a reference to the specific record, which is the name of the company here, Twitter. If I go back one to see what it was for Google, again, we can see that we are still on the company page on the LinkedIn site, but this additional path, Google is allowing LinkedIn to display the information for this specific record. We will do this in our own app too. We can do this kind of thing where we manipulate the URL, and actually the URL will be helpful to find the right record from our database. We will use the values in the URL. All right, so I'm going to show you how we can do this in our own app. So in the previous lesson, we actually displayed data in elements on the same page. It's the same type of concept, except instead of displaying data in an element on the page, we're going to display data on another page instead. Now to do this, we need to set up that other page, that dynamic page, right? So in the previous lesson, we had set up this pop-up, for example, to have a type of content set to it, so that the pop-up knew what type of content to expect. We need to do the same with our dynamic page. I'm going to go navigate to my job post page, which I'm going to set up as a dynamic page to view individual post records. So I have a full page to display the post details like the description, the title, the salary, all of that. We're currently on the search page. So what I want to do is click on this button within a specific job post and be taken to the dynamic job post page. So I'm going to go over there to the job post. I don't have anything designed here yet. I'll open up the property editor for the job post page. I just double clicked here. You can also get there from your element list. The page will always be at the top of this list. And I'm going to set the type of content for this page. So this works very much like your pop-up type of content or group type of content. So I'm going to set this to job post. Now Bubble knows that this page is expecting to be sent a job post record. Once we do this, we'll be able to reference a single record. We'll have to pass a record to it, but everything inside of the page will be able to reference it going forward. It's like a shortcut to this record in the database. So for example, I'm going to grab a text element here and add it to the page. And I'm just going to make it bigger. I'm going to set the style to center title large here. Very big. make it visible there. And now the dynamic text value that I want to set this to, I'll do insert dynamic data. We'll use this expression here, current page job post. So this, because we've set the type of content on the page, we have this expression here available to use. This is our shortcut link to displaying data for the specific job post that will be sent to this page. So I'll select this, and you can see that I now have access to all of the fields within the job post data type. So let's say for this particular text, I want to display the current page job post's title. Okay, and we'll start right there for now. And I will have a quick button to help me navigate between this page and back to my search page so that when we're previewing it, we can easily navigate between the two. So here's a button called, we'll do back to search. And I'm going to start and edit a workflow for this button to do a simple navigation action, go to page, and we'll have this take us back to the search page. This is just for me when I'm previewing it for you guys to quickly go back there so that we can test this page out with different job posts. I'll add one more text underneath here so that we can see some more information show up. So we'll do another text element, current page job post, company's name. So this value is going through the job post still, but we're linking to the company from the job post and then displaying that company name. And to help the user understand what this text actually is, I'm going to put a static value in front of this here and say company and then a colon there so we can see that that's the company involved. Okay, and I'm going to center this text just so that everything is centered together. All right, and then obviously we would design the rest of this page to have all of the information for the post. We could have a picture of the company logo around here. We could have due dates for when applications need to be submitted by. Anything that is related to the job post, we can start to fill it in any relevant elements, whether it's a text or an image or a repeating group, and reference that current page job post field. Okay, so now let's go back to our search page where we actually trigger the page navigation and sending of data to the other page. So I've got a button here. This is, we're kind of building off of the previous lesson. We're changing the workflows a little bit. This repeating group is just going to show a list of all of my job posts. So I'm doing a search for job posts with no constraints just to keep it easy here. And then our button, which I've relabeled as View Post Details, is going to take us to that other page. So I'm going to start edit workflow from this button. And I'm going to remove these actions, which we had in the previous lesson. We don't want to show the pop-up anymore. Instead, we're going to be taken to the other page. So the action I'll add when we click on this button is going to be navigation, go to page, and then we'll select our job post page. Now, because I've set the type of content to the job post, we now have to fill in this value here, data to send. Bubble is expecting a record to be sent to it. So we will say we want to send the current cell's job post. I could also do a search of my database for a specific post, but we are making it very easy for us because we're coming directly from a list of posts already. So we have a reference to the specific post we want. So data to send, current cell's job post. So with this alone, let's see what happens. I'm going to preview this search page. And we're going to click on the first post here, Assistant Professor. View post details, and we're now on the job post page, and you can see that the name of the post is at the top here and that the company has been filled in dynamically to show the company name for this particular post. You can also see in the URL that we are currently on the job post page, and then after that page we have a unique ID. This is very much like LinkedIn system where they have the page name / and then an ID for the company. In their case, it's going to be the name of the company. The way Bubble works and does this same type of system is it uses the unique ID of that record in the URL instead of a generic name. Now, I'll talk more about this because we can manipulate this a little bit more in just a moment. But just wanted to point out that with dynamic pages, you will see a unique ID in the URL like that. So let's go back to the search page and try another job post. Okay, so I'm going to select, let's do product engineer here. Okay, so here is the updated name. We're still on the exact same page, and here's the company name for this particular post. So notice that I did not have to create multiple pages for these different records. This is the entire point of a dynamic page, is that you pass data to it so that your layout that you've designed will simply fill in with the dynamic content that you've sent to it. This is one of the easiest ways to pass data to pages. You simply set the type of content on the target page. So in our case here, this would be the job post page. And then from any other page, you'll need to navigate to it by using a go to page action and making sure you fill out this field here, data to send, and indicate what record you want to use. You can also change the source of the page within the page itself. So you don't necessarily have to come from a different page. I'm going to go back to the job post. We're going to do something else here. I'm just going to move these down a little bit. And I'm going to add a search box at the top of my page. Okay, so my search box element, if you recall, this is an autocomplete type of element where you can start typing. Bubble will automatically show you any matching results from your database that match whatever you're typing in there. And the value of this search box will be that selected record that you chose from the list that will show up. So I'm going to set up this search box to be a list of job posts. Okay, and this is a dynamic choice because I wanted to search my database to match against. So field to search, we're going to search the title field. Okay, so now let's say that when I make a selection from this search box, I want this job post page to reload and reference the selected job post. So it basically updates and refreshes and we'll send a new job post to the same page that we're currently on. So I'm going to do this by creating a workflow from the change of the search box element. So I'll right click on this, I'll hit Start Edit Workflow, and I'm doing it this way because you'll notice that within the search box, we don't have that Start Edit Workflow button in the property editor like we usually see on the buttons right here or on text right there. Some of these inputs don't have it there, so the easiest way to create a workflow upon input change is to right-click that input and go to the bottom of your menu. You will always have this here for anything that can trigger a workflow. All right, so when the search box value is changed, what we're going to do is we're still going to use a navigation action, go to page, even though we're going to go to the same page. We're basically telling Bubble to reload it. So the destination will be job post, and the data to send this time is going to be this search box's value. Okay, because the search box is set up to give you a list of job post records. So let's refresh the page and you can see how this method of updating this page works. So let's see, I'm just going to search for ones that I remember here: assistant, professor, assistant, VP. So I'm going to select one. You can see how it immediately changed, and the unique ID in the URL changed because we've updated the record that this page is referencing. I'll do this again. We'll do grant writer was another one. And you can see how this changes like that. So you can have this search and selection on the same page as well. Now, if you wanted to customize the appearance of this URL a little bit, Bubble does have a feature that lets you edit how this unique ID is displayed to make the URL a little bit more legible and identifiable for users. If you ever want to share this type of link and have users pass the link around, you can actually update the unique ID portion of the URL to have some identifying information about the record. I'm going to go back into the editor and click on the, or open up the property editor for the page. And you can see here that we have this field that became available once we set the type of content to the page. So this is the field for readable URL. Basically, this will give you, this will let you choose from any text field within the job post data type, so that Bubble can insert that value into the URL as well. It's not going to replace the full unique ID. I'll show you what it'll look like. I'm going to set the title of the job post as the field for readable URL. And I'm just going to refresh the page here so that we can see how the unique ID changes. And let me trigger this by going to another record. Okay, so here you can see that the title of the post was added to the URL. We still have the unique ID. This at least makes the URL a little bit more legible and identifiable, so we know what post this is going to. You could create a separate field within the job post data type specifically for this purpose. So if you don't want to use the full title, and of course the description would be much too long, you could have a separate field that is specifically for using for this feature. You just would need to remember to save it whenever you create a post, or update it if you want to give your users the ability to change that value. In the next couple lessons, I'm going to talk you through other methods of sending data to dynamic pages. This is the built-in, most straightforward method of passing data from one page to another, or even from the same page, is simply using that go to page action and sending data within that same action.